The world was a dull canvas, painted in muted tones of gray. It was a world of concrete and glass, of deadlines and compromises. A world where I was Adam, a cog in the relentless machine of existence. I existed in a perpetual fog, a mental haze that obscured the sharp edges of reality. My days were a monotonous rhythm of commuting, working, and returning home to a sterile apartment. It was a life lived on autopilot, a life without color, without passion. Then there were the episodes. They came without warning, like a storm brewing on a clear day. The world would shimmer, distort, and then, with a dizzying lurch, I would be elsewhere. A place of blinding light, of infinite expanse. A place where I was not Adam, but something else entirely. Something more. In this realm, I was creator, destroyer, and everything in between. A god, perhaps, or simply a manifestation of my wildest dreams. The world unfolded before me, a canvas painted with the colors of my imagination. Mountains soared into the sky, their peaks kissed by ethereal clouds. Oceans of liquid silver stretched to the horizon, teeming with creatures born from the depths of my mind. I could feel the power coursing through me, a heady intoxicant that filled me with a sense of limitless possibility. I could shape the world with a thought, summon beings with a word. It was a playground for the soul, a place where I was free from the shackles of reality. But even in this paradise, a sense of unease began to creep in. A whisper of doubt, a question mark hanging in the periphery of my consciousness. Was this world real, or was it merely a refuge from the harshness of the outside? The inhabitants of my fantasy realm grew more insistent, more demanding. They looked to me for guidance, for sustenance, for meaning. Their eyes, windows to the depths of my psyche, bore into me with a hunger that I couldn't comprehend. Their voices grew louder, their needs more urgent. And in the quiet moments, when the whispers of doubt grew to a deafening roar, I felt the fabric of my reality begin to fray. I started to bring pieces of my imaginary world into the real one. A vibrant feather found on the pavement, a scent of blooming flowers in a barren office. My colleagues noticed, of course. They whispered about my erratic behavior, my sudden bursts of laughter at inappropriate moments, my detachment from the world around me. My family grew concerned, their eyes filled with a mix of pity and fear. They didn't understand the power I wielded, the beauty I could create. They saw only the man they knew, slipping away before their very eyes. One evening, as the real-world sun dipped below the horizon, I found myself in the throes of a particularly intense episode. The walls of my apartment melted away, revealing a vast library, its shelves groaning with tomes of untold knowledge. The air was thick with the scent of parchment and ink, and the whispers grew to a crescendo. In the center of the room, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a creature of pure darkness, with a voice that resonated in the very core of my being. It was the embodiment of my creativity, the force that had crafted this world. You've forgotten your place, it said, its voice echoing through the cavernous space. You are not the master here. You are the dreamer. The confrontation was inevitable. I had to face the truth of my creation and the cost of my escape. The figure grew larger, its form morphing into a monstrous reflection of my own fears and insecurities. It was time to confront the beast that had been born from my own mind. The creature advanced, tendrils of shadow, snaking towards me. The books on the shelves fluttered in a sudden gust of wind, their pages whispering warnings. The walls of the library began to close in, the very air thick with the weight of impending doom. But as the creature's icy grip tightened around my heart, I realized something profound. I was not just a god in this world. I was also its prisoner. The power to create was also the power to destroy, and I had been wielding it without restraint, without understanding the consequences. The creature's eyes bore into mine, and in that moment, I saw a flicker of something other than anger. It was a plea for balance, for harmony between the realms of reality and imagination. With trembling hands, I reached out to the creature, the embodiment of my own mind. I will listen, I whispered. I will learn. The creature's form softened, the shadows retreating into the corners of the library. The books stilled, the whispers hushed. As the real world began to seep back into my consciousness, I knew that I had reached a crossroads. I could continue to lose myself in the fantasy, allowing the lines to blur until there was no distinction between the two worlds. Or I could face the truth of my life, the pain and the mundanity, and find a way to live with purpose in the world that was real. The choice was mine, and the weight of it settled heavily on my shoulders. But as the library faded and the grayness of my apartment reasserted itself, I knew what I had to do. It was time to step out of the shadows and into the light. Time to reconcile the man I was with the God I had become. Time to embrace the full spectrum of existence, not just the fleeting moments of brilliance. The journey ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but for the first time in what felt like an eternity, I felt a spark of hope. A belief that perhaps there was more to life than the endless cycle of routine and despair. Perhaps there was a way to harness the power of my imagination without letting it consume me. And so, with a deep breath, I opened my eyes to the real world, the room dimly lit by the glow of the street lamp outside. The walls of my apartment were unchanged, untouched by the grandeur of my imaginary library. But something within me had shifted. The aftermath of the confrontation with the creature found Adam on the precipice of a new reality. The lines between his inner and outer worlds had blurred, creating a complex tapestry of existence. As he navigated this uncharted territory, the weight of his newfound power grew heavier. His imaginary world, once a mere escape, demanded more. It yearned for structure, for a history, for a pantheon of beings beyond himself. The creatures he had birthed began to question their existence, their purpose. Adam realized he had a responsibility to them, a duty to shape their world with care and consideration. The intoxicating power he had wielded began to reveal its darker side. A careless thought, a misplaced desire, could have catastrophic consequences. As he delved deeper into his creation, Adam discovered a growing attachment to the beings he had brought forth. They were no longer mere constructs of his imagination. They were living, breathing entities with their own hopes and fears. He found himself drawn to their stories, their struggles, their triumphs. In this way, his imaginary world began to take on a life of its own, a universe with its own intricate web of relationships and conflicts. The impact of Adam's experiences rippled through the real world. His newfound clarity and focus transformed his career. Ideas that had once been fleeting thoughts now materialized into groundbreaking innovations. His art, infused with the vibrant colors of his imaginary world, resonated with audiences on a profound level. Yet, the acclaim came with a price. The pressure to maintain his creative output grew intense, and the lines between inspiration and exhaustion blurred. The psychological toll of living in two worlds was immense. Adam found himself grappling with anxiety and insomnia. The fear of losing control over his imagination was a constant companion. He sought therapy, medication, and support from loved ones to manage his mental health. The delicate balance between his inner and outer worlds became a daily challenge. As Adam's power grew, so too did the potential for misuse. The allure of manipulating reality for personal gain was a constant temptation. He faced ethical dilemmas that challenged his core values. The boundary between helping others and controlling their lives became increasingly blurred. The blurring of the two worlds led to unexpected consequences. Elements of his imaginary world began to seep into the real world, causing disruptions and fear. People reported strange occurrences, unexplained phenomena. Adam realized that his power to create was also a power to destroy. The road ahead was fraught with uncertainty. Adam knew that he was on a lifelong journey, a quest to understand the intricacies of his own mind and the impact of his creations on the world. He was both creator and custodian, a god and a mortal. The balance between these two identities would define the rest of his life. The following days were a blur of introspection and doubt. I felt the pull of my fantasy world, the siren's call of unbridled power and escape. Yet, the creature's words echoed through me, a persistent reminder of the delicate balance that needed to be maintained. I sought out the counsel of a therapist, a woman named Dr. Laura, who listened with a blend of curiosity and concern as I recounted my experiences. She spoke of disassociation, of the mind's ability to create entire realities as a coping mechanism. But she also spoke of the danger of becoming lost in those realms. With her guidance, I began to explore the origins of my escape. The pressures of my job, the loss of a loved one, the crushing weight of expectations. Each revelation brought with it a sense of clarity, a peeling back of the layers that had obscured the truth of my existence. My interactions with the real world grew more deliberate, more meaningful. I started to engage with my colleagues, sharing small moments of connection that had eluded me before. I called my mother, listened to her worries, and offered comfort in a way that felt genuine. The episodes grew less frequent, the realm of my imagination less vivid. Yet, I knew it was not gone. It was a part of me, a testament to the boundless potential that lay within. And as I worked to find equilibrium, I understood that it was not a prison, but a tool. A way to navigate the complexities of reality, to find beauty in the mundane, and to face the darkness with the light of creation. The creature from my fantasy did not disappear entirely. Instead, it became a guide, a silent observer in the corner of my mind, reminding me of the responsibilities that came with power. And as I grew stronger in the real world, so too did it evolve, its form less monstrous, more akin to a guardian. One night, as I lay in bed, the air grew thick with the scent of jasmine, a scent that had become a symbol of my imaginary world. The creature emerged from the shadows, its eyes filled with a gentle wisdom. "You are ready," it said, its voice a soft whisper, "to walk the line between worlds without falling." I nodded, feeling a strange mix of excitement and trepidation. The creature stepped closer, its form becoming less distinct, merging with the fabric of my reality. "Remember," it said, its voice fading, "you are both the dreamer and the dream." And with that, the creature was gone, leaving me in the quiet solitude of my room. But I was not alone. I was Adam, a man with the power to shape worlds, and the wisdom to know when to let them go. The next morning, I woke with a newfound purpose. I approached my day with an open mind, ready to embrace the challenges and the miracles of reality. The line between the two worlds remained, a delicate thread that I knew I could cross at any moment. But now, it was a choice, a bridge to be traversed with intention rather than a chasm to fall into. As I stepped into the office, the whispers of doubt and fear that had once plagued me were replaced by a sense of calm. I knew that within me lay the power to create, to destroy, and to heal. And with each step forward, I vowed to use that power wisely, to build a life that was a reflection of the beauty and complexity of the worlds that coexisted in my mind. My colleagues noticed the change in me. There was a new spark in my eyes, a lightness in my step. They spoke to me more freely, sharing their own struggles and successes. I found myself genuinely caring for them, seeing them not as mere bystanders in the grand tapestry of existence, but as threads woven into the very fabric of my reality. The nights grew easier, the transitions between worlds smoother. I would sit at my desk, the soft glow of my computer screen my only companion, and I would write. Words flowed from my fingertips, weaving tales of adventure and intrigue that mirrored my own journey. It was a dance, a delicate balance between the real and the imagined. Dr. Laura became a confidant, a guide in navigating the tumultuous waters of my psyche. She helped me understand that the line between sanity and madness was not as clear-cut as I had once believed. It was a spectrum, and on that spectrum, I was merely a man learning to wield a great power. One evening, as I sat in the quiet solitude of my apartment, the scent of jasmine grew stronger. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, willing the world of fantasy to emerge. And it did, but this time, it was different. The colors were softer, the whispers of the wind more gentle. The guardian was there, waiting for me. It had transformed into a being of pure light, a reflection of the hope that had taken root within me. "You've come far," it said, its voice a comforting hum. "But I still have so much to learn," I replied, feeling the weight of the worlds on my shoulders. "And you will," it assured me. "For now, let us walk together." And so, we did. We explored the vast expanses of my imagination, the landscapes shifting and morphing with each step. We encountered creatures of unspeakable beauty and terror, the echoes of my deepest fears and desires. And with each encounter, I grew stronger, more certain of my place in the cosmos. The real world waited for me, patient and unyielding. It was a place of growth, of love, of pain and joy. And as I straddled the line between realms, I knew that it was here, in this delicate balance, that I would find my true purpose. The story of Adam the Dreamer was far from over. It was merely the beginning of a tale that would span the vastness of imagination and the depths of the human soul. A story of a man who had looked into the abyss and found not darkness, but the light of creation. And as I opened my eyes to the world anew, I knew that the most incredible adventure was the one that lay before me, in the waking moments of my everyday life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest stories, give us a like if you want to see more, and drop a comment below to let us know your thoughts.